Hello there. Thanks for stopping by. If you're late to the game like I am, at least with a Roth IRA to generate some income, by the time you're 59 and a half, you've come to the right place. I'm in exactly 66 months until I am 59 and a half, and I want to generate some type of income later in my life when I need it. So let's see where I'm at right now. Again, I'm behind in the game. Let's take a look where I'm at. All right, today is July 12th, 2025. You can see how late I am. Just $4,600 in cash. You can see the breakdown of these high yield ETFs. MSTY being my biggest holding, about $3,300 or about 70% of this portfolio. It's up about 25% right now. I started late last year. And right now, if you look on the bottom right, ULTI and YMAX, they're pending the drip. So this 25% is closer to about 20% because ULTI and YMAX will get reinvested on Monday. It should update by Tuesday. But you can see the percentage breakdown and then the little bit of money that I have in each fund. And if you compare that from my last video about a week ago, I've gone from $4,200 to that $4,600. Again, I'm anticipating up about 20%. And with this screenshot, we're looking at July 11th, Friday, 2025. But this screenshot tells you the amount gain or loss for that day. And if you've been following Bitcoin, Mr. and MSTY, it's on a run right now. So MSTY was up a nice chunk of change yesterday in this portfolio. With this screenshot, we're looking at the total gain or loss for each position since I've owned them. Now, Hui, I just opened up last X dividend. I have yet to receive a dividend for that position. But as you can see, I'm up a good chunk of change in MSTY, relatively speaking, of $733. And just to look at that percentage-wise, you can see MSTY is up 28%. Go MSTY. And then with this screenshot, you can just see the total amount of dollars I have in each account. All right, let's take a little more detailed look into each position. First off is Hui, just 5.4 shares, a total value of $387. The average cost of $67.20. You can see it finished down about 8 pennies yesterday and finished at $71.62. Again, I'm up about 6.5% on this really small position of $23.90. All right, now we have ULTI, just about 50 shares of ULTI, an average cost of $6.23. Yesterday finished a couple pennies down at $6.21. And then you can see my total gain or loss. It's just been flat. But again, I just opened this position up not too long ago within the last couple weeks. All right, the next one is YMAX. You can see it finished down a penny at $13.77. Have about 44 shares, a total value of about $600. And you can see since I've opened this position, I'm up about 3.5% or about $21. There you can see the average cost of $13.28 versus where we're standing now at $13.77. And then the biggest position I have in this portfolio is MSTY. You can see 150 shares, an average cost of $17.19. MSTY, Bitcoin, Mr. They've all been pumping because of Bitcoin, but it finished up 42 cents at $22.07. And I'm up 28% on this position, or $733. You can see up almost 2% yesterday with that 42-cent jump. And here are those dividends pending reinvestment here on Monday of next week. ULTI, you can see I had a small position, almost $5 in dividends, big whoop, but we got to build, we got to start somewhere. And then YMAX paying $6.01. Again, we got to start somewhere. They'll be reinvested. So I'll almost get a whole share of ULTI, and I'll get, they almost half a share of YMAX when it does happen. But in this tax protected account, this Roth IRA, it'll give me a zero cost basis with these dividends reinvesting, which will lower my average cost. So the benefits of doing this in a Roth IRA. And now we're looking at a screenshot from the desktop. Here's that total value of $46.36, the 25.71%. But you can see ULTI and YMAX, they're blank right now, pending the drip of these investments, of these distributions, so to speak. So it'll update by Tuesday. And I'll let you pause and pinch and zoom if you're on your phone if you want to look at the rest of these stats. All right, and then with this screenshot, Year-to-date performance of this Roth IRA, 34%. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad, but it's better to be green than it is red. So I'll take the 34%, at least year-to-date. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. I also want to let you know I opened up a small taxable brokerage account with Robinhood. You can see just the $2,600 basically funded this at the beginning of July. And so far, just 5 positions from Bitcoin to AMDY. And this screenshot, we're looking at the total gain or loss of each position since I opened this up going on almost 2 weeks ago. And a very quick look at each position, AMDY from AMD. You can see I have $107 of total value, almost 13 shares, an average cost of $8.02. And since I've owned this, which hasn't been very long, I'm up about 3.5%. Next up is MSTY, almost 33 shares, or a market value of about $725. Average cost, $20.84. It's almost 25% of this portfolio. I have yet to receive a dividend. I bought ex-dividend, but so far I'm up about 5.5% or $38. And then my biggest position in this taxable brokerage account is ULTY, better known as ULTY, about $1,650 of value, an average cost of $623. Again, a little bit more than half of this portfolio. I've received one dividend so far, about $22 or $23. And right now you can see the total return, I'm down about $2.50. My last one is not a dividend ETF. It's a swing play trade. Bought about 6 shares of Robinhood Markets. And my goal with this is just to make some profit. Hopefully right now it's at 97. I want to see it go to 110, 115 and then sell. They have earnings in the first week of July. So I'll be holding this through the rest of this month just to see where it goes. And hopefully I'll be in the green when I sell it. And with Robinhood, if you don't know, you need at least $2,000 to have a margin account. So that's exactly what I did. You can see my buying power is at $20.91. I am using $500 of margin for that momentum play that I'm doing with Robinhood Markets. So $500 worth of margin so far. You can see I'm low risk. I got a pretty decent buffer. I mean, I'd have to go down almost $600 for a margin call, so I'm not worried about that. And then you can see this bucket right here. It kind of explains it a little bit better. It's a low risk margin in a tiny, tiny little brokerage account. And also with Robinhood, that first $1,000 of margin is interest free, so I'll take it. All right, today being Saturday, July 12th, 2025, you can see I'm down about $3.65 today, or 0.014%. But if we click on the last week, you can see I'm up $114 or about 4.60%. And I'll go ahead and do 1 month, up $120 or 4.86%. So I'm doing both fronts. I'm doing the Roth IRA and I'm doing a brokerage account. I'm guesstimating about $75-$80 for the month of July. And because it's such a minimal amount in this taxable brokerage account, I'm not going to worry about taxes. I'll be able to cover that just with my own income and whatnot. So you combine these two brokerages together, about $275 for the month of July. And if you have any comments or suggestions, ideas, anything like that, or if you're in the same boat as I am, a little bit late to the game as far as a Roth IRA, leave some comments in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.